Hey, welcome to Diary of the Moved. My name is Shola, and today we're going to be talking about a topic every immigrant, at least 70% of immigrants, faced when they landed in Canada, except for the lucky ones. But before we go into that, I just want to let you know that this is the space where we unpack the realities of starting over in Canada, the good, the hard, and all the in betweens. So today, back to the main conversation, I want to share something deeply personal and honest. Something a lot of us immigrants don't always say out loud, and that's finding a job in Canada can feel like you're trying to break into a world that already has its people. Like my fellow Nigerians would say, choke. Finding a job in Canada sometimes can feel like an Olympic, like you're taking part in an Olympic event or an Olympic sport. I remember sitting in my apartment during my first few months here, refreshing my email. Oh god, that's work on its own. Let me tell you the work. Refreshing email, it's work on its own. Tweaking that resume is a 9 to 5 job, like it's a full-time job, because for every job you apply for, you're applying for every posting you see, you can't use the same resume. If you're serious, you can't use the same resume, because the same job might ask for different things, looking for different skill sets, different qualifications, different things that would require you to keep tweaking. Keep tweaking your resume. It's serious hard work, and then the rejection. Well, I think a lot of people pass through it. Like it's so bad that it can make you depressed. Like I've heard people say, oh, they moved to Canada and they've applied to like 500 jobs. I've heard people say you are not a serious person if you've not applied to over 1,000 jobs moving to Canada. So how can you say that you've applied to just 100 jobs? Like, are you serious? She jokes about, but it's serious work, and then the rejection mail comes in, or sometimes even silence, and it all boils back to the Canadian experience. As much as recruiters don't like to put that out there or say it out there, they are looking for the Canadian experience, and there are various ways you can get that Canadian experience. Volunteering, yes, volunteering here is it's like gold. So you getting that experience just helps. It helps the recruiter or anybody that picks up your resume have a feel that, oh, you've integrated in a way into the Canadian landscape. And before we move further, I would just like to talk about the system for a moment, and that's just throwing in some statistics. So according to West and according to Statistics Canada, it says only 1 in 4 newcomers land a job aligned with their experience in the first year. So brothers and sisters, it's not your problem. It's not a you problem. And then it often takes 12 to 18 months to find meaningful work in your field. And 60 to 70% of jobs in Canada are filled through internal hiring or referrals and not public posting. And this statistic exactly brings me to the conversation for today. And so no, it's not your imagination. It's not a you problem. If even if it feels like you're shouting into the void, it's because in many ways you are. So however, I would like to talk about, I'm talking too much now, I know. However, I would like to talk about a strategy that worked for me, and that is you taking up that job. And the job, I will say that most immigrants tend to get quicker or faster than the job they are more suited for or more aligned to their experience back home would be the customer care job. And what I will say is take up that job. But now, when I mean take up that job, is you being strategic about it. For me, after my 3rd month here, I know it's little compared to other people, but it was a customer care job I eventually got under my 3rd month. And then, but I didn't look at it from a customer care angle. I didn't look at it that, oh, I have 6 years of experience back home working as a learning professional, and now and when I mean learning professional, it was for like in the corporate space, developing, I'm handling the training or learning and development for organizations. And then coming here and doing customer service, even if it could be tied in, but coming here and doing customer service. But the strategy I took was I did not look at the job as, oh, I'm doing a customer care job. I looked at it as a chessboard. Like, this is an opportunity for me to get that internal job. Yes. And this is an opportunity for me to get that internal job. So I'll just drop few tips that really helped me. And the first is, your first job isn't a detour, it's your access point. For me, the first job, even if it was customer care, it was my access point into getting I won't say it's my dream job yet, but into getting a job that aligned with my experience and skill. And what that job or what that role gave me was what I could not get from outside. It gave me the Canadian experience that is taking the customer care role, taking the customer care job gave me the Canadian experience. It gave me access to internal job boards. So you see what I'm talking about? Yes, you've taken the customer care job, but now you're in the system. You have the opportunity now to look for other roles, especially if it's a physical customer care job. My job was physical, so I would say it really contributed. It really helped me in transitioning into the job that I wanted. So it gave me access to internal job boards. It gave me exposure to the company's tools, to work cultures, which recruiters really value. The fact that you understand how their processes work, how their system works, you have a grasp of the culture. And most importantly, it gave me proximity to people, recruiter, managers, heads of department, and decision makers. And 3 months in, there was a job posting that aligned with my actual skill set. I applied, I interviewed, and I got it. Not because I was better than before, but because now they could see me. Yeah. So tip 2 is treat your first job like a live audition. I've seen people that even at the organization that I work, when they start the customer experience role, you can immediately tell that this person is not happy with the job. You allow your unhappiness to show in your body language. You allow your unhappiness to show so much that your manager knows that, nah, this person is either this person will not stay, or this individual is not cut out for this job. So you need to, like, when you take up that first job, just assume that you're in a live audition and everybody's looking at you, and there is reward at the end of the job you're doing. And you might assume that no one is looking at you. People are looking. Oh god, people are looking at you. So you need to show up early, ask good questions, build rapport. The rapport building is good. Like, Canadians love when you build that rapport, when you have conversations, when you talk about, even if it's the smallest of things. Oh, hi, how was your day, how was your weekend, oh, the sun is out today. Those small conversations that you are counting as very annoying, have that conversation and ensure that your manager sees the work that you do. I like to refer, so there's a term that we use back home, or in my country, Nigeria, at the workspace. It can be used anywhere, and it's called high service. And high service is just someone the explanation I want to use another Nigerian terminology. It's just someone that excessively goes, I don't want to use going above and beyond, but someone that is just excessive, that you know that whatever they're doing is not natural. They're not doing things in their natural self. They are very excessive, probably in the way, like, you're just everywhere. I'm looking for the right word to use to explain that. But I like to say that even in the Canadian system, I realized that they like high service, but you need to just do it in a very diplomatic way, in a way that it's not loud. But you need to. So you know when people say, "Oh, I'm gonna let my work talk for me." No, you need to use your mouth to sell yourself, because it's gonna affect, or it's going to play a huge role in your performance review, in even them promoting you, in your names coming up at when they're saying good things. When you want to let go of people, it also helps. So imagine you're just in one corner saying, I'm doing all the hard work, but I'm going to let my work talk for me. No. In the Canadian work system, you need to go to your manager and let your manager know. It might seem like, oh, you're being excessive, but it's needed because that's one way you can. Because the truth is, your reputation travels faster than your resume ever will. So you need to just show up and show them that you know the work. And then for the third tip, that would be build relationships in the in between moments. And what I mean by this is you don't have to network in a very rigid, performative way. You need to, I've seen people just, when you ask for that coffee chat and then the person just knows that this one wants to look for a job, wants to stop me for a job. So instead of just going, oh, I'd like to have a coffee chat with you, it could be you just even helping someone. And it could be you staying behind after a meeting, volunteering. And I like to say that there is a way that you can sell yourself. You can sell your skill sets without necessarily saying, "No, I need the job." And this is a mistake that a lot of immigrants make when they meet someone for the first time or they send messages on LinkedIn. And the first message you're sending or the first time you're seeing someone, your conversation is, "Oh, I need a job. Are they recruiting in your organization?" Number one, it just sells you as desperate. It comes off very weird and off to some people based on feedback for some people. So what I would suggest next time is when you meet with people, ensure that it's natural. And like I said, there's a way that you can talk about your skill set without necessarily even letting the person know that you're selling yourself. And what that does is that the person remembers, like when an opportunity comes up that speaks or that aligns with your skill set, what that does is the person remembers that, oh, Shade or Collins seems to have this skill set. Let me reach out to them. But if you're one that you constantly bought them, oh, I need a job. But I understand when we do this. Like, I feel we're all guilty of this at some point in our lives. But we just need to learn from these mistakes and try to adjust. And like I said, some of the best connections I have made were from helping someone fix an issue with their system, staying behind after a meeting, saying, oh, I would like to support in this company's events. What can I do? I have some spare time. But just asking questions like, hey, what do you do in your department? I'm trying to learn more about how things work. So now you see, you're not saying, what do you do in your department? I'm looking for a job. You say I'm looking. You're saying, oh, what do you do in your department? It seems very fascinating. I would like to learn how things work. So maybe there are some certifications I could include in my resume. You've not sold yourself, but you sold yourself. Number one, you've told the person that, oh, you seem to have experience in that person's department or in the job the person does, and you've also sold yourself as one who is ready to upskill themselves, and which is very good. And then to tip 4, you don't need the huge network. You just need to be someone that people trust. And here's what worked for me: doing my job well, being visible but not loud. Like I mentioned, I realized in the Canadian system, it's not about you laying low. It's not about you saying, let my work speak for me. It's about you being visible. Let your boss know that yes, she works, and not just work. She's smart at the work. I can give her this, and I know that she's going to deliver on it 100%. So I'm volunteer to help when you can. I was someone that even from when I started the customer service role, people could rely on. My managers could rely on me. My team members could rely on me. And that's what I mean by when you take the first job, as much as you hate it, give it your best. Act like it's a do or die affair, because you never can tell who's watching. I've had my customer care role, I've had managers walk up to me to say, oh, I've had good, impressive feedback about you. Are you interested in this? So you never can tell who's actually working. And I've had friends that transition from the customer care role into HR, finance, different things, just by giving that first job their best. They build trust. they allowed their manager to they build trust in their manager. And you know what happens when people trust you? They advocate for you in rooms they are not in. So they speak on your behalf. And then lastly, this is a general thing, and this is rejection doesn't mean you're not ready. Or I like to say that rejection is not a you problem. It's a system thing. So at first what I started doing is, at first I used to take it personal. Like when I got rejected, when I get rejection bills, I really took it personal. But what I started doing is I found those rejection bills as a form of data sourcing. So what I did was, oh, I've been applying for this job, they've been rejecting me. What are the skills that they are looking for in this job? What are the certifications they are looking for in this job? Are the certifications something that I can do within few weeks? Is it free? Are the skills something I need to build on, or is something else, or a skill set that needs to be constantly, there needs to be a constant on my resume? So all of this, you need to stop looking at your rejection as a negative. We immigrants now need to look at our rejection as a form of data sourcing, as a form of a growth pipeline for us. And that's what I'll leave with today. So in summary, I know that I might have been talking too much, but in summary, what I'm just trying to say is, when you get that first job, take it, because you could be your strategic moves to getting that internal job. So regardless of the job you're doing right now, regardless of if you're listening to this, if you're listening to this from a role that doesn't feel like you, or if you're debating whether to take that job that you feel overqualified for, please know this: it might be your strategic, it might be your best strategic move to get to that job internally. And you're not stuck. Remember, you're planting the seed. So this is Diary of the Moved, where we skip the sugarcoating and get real about what it takes to build a career, a life in a new country. If this resonated with you, I would love for you to subscribe, share this with someone else navigating the same thing, or drop a comment with your own story. You never know who might help. Until next time, keep showing up, and thank you for pressing play. Take care.